Okay, so good day, nurses. Now let's start or begin the discussion for the concept community organizing participatory action research, or also known as your COPAR. So when we say COPAR, it is a social development approach that aims to transform community from apathetic, individualistic, voiceless, pour into a dynamic, participatory, and politically responsive community. In short, pag sinabi natin COPAR, gusto natin magkaroon ng tinatawag natin na community development. Okay, gusto natin magkaroon ng community development. Or, in other word, or in a simple word, gusto natin ng change. Okay, itong change na to, it is a positive change. Hindi siya negative. Bakit? Ano bang gusto natin mangyari kapag tayo ay nagkakandak ng COPAR sa isang community? Usually kasi class, ang COPAR or kapag once na nagkandak tayo ng COPAR, meron tayong mga qualifications sa community. Okay, hindi lang tayo basta-basta namimili. Okay, etong community na ito dahil ito ay malapit siya, accessible. Etong community niya ito dahil marami siyang population. Or etong community na ito dahil may mall siya. Hindi tayo basta-basta namimili. May qualifications tayo. At yung mga qualifications natin, we will discuss that one later. At usually, yung mga qualifications natin sa isang community, usually sila yung mga mahihirap, may maraming sakit, okay, maraming cases na namamatay sa kanila nang dahil sa mga diseases. Third one, sila yung mga, what they call this one, yung mahirap mapuntahan, yung hindi sila accessible, walang barangay health station, walang hospital na malapit sa kanila. So, yun yung mga tinatarget nating community. That's why, ang gagawin natin, magkakaroon ng pagbabago. Okay, anong pagbabago? Yung kapag once na nagkaroon sila ng problema, sila na mismo or yung mga community people na mismo ang magre-resolve sa problema na na-identify nila. Okay? Yan yung pinaka-aim ng ating COPAR. So, in short, from a passive type na community, sila yung matatawag natin na your SR or yung self-reliance. Ito yung main goal ng ating COPAR. Okay? Yung magiging, what they call this one, dependent. Okay? Magiging dependent sila. Next one, the four importance of COPAR. Una sa lahat, tool for community development. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, si COPAR, aim niya is self-reliance. Gusto niyang magkaroon ng pagbabago or ng change doon sa community. So kung gusto mo ng change doon sa isang community, gusto mo silang ma-transform into what they call this one, into a dynamic and dependent type na community, or gusto mo silang ma-transform into independent type na community, ang gagawin natin or ang gagamitin natin ay COPAR. So next natin, your offer alternative solutions to health problems that may not require medical intervention. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina na yung COPAR or yung mga qualifications natin for COPAR or sa community na hinahanap natin para mag-conduct ng COPAR, sila yung mga mahirap ma-access, yung mga walang barangay health station, walang malapit na hospital. So usually, itong community na ito, kapag once na nagkaroon ng sakit yung isang member doon sa community, ang nangyayari pag tinakbo mo siya sa hospital, baka hindi na siya makaabot sa hospital. Baka death on arrival na siya. Bakit? Kasi napakalayo ng hospital. Second one, walang gamot. Okay, wala silang gamot, walang pambili ng gamot yung mga tao dito. Bakit? Dahil sila ay mahihirap. That's why we need to offer alternative solution. Instead na magbigay ka ng gamot, we use the available resources na makikita natin sa community. At anong best example natin dito? Your herbal plants. Okay, your herbal plants. So for example, isa kang community health nurse. pumunta ang isang pasyente sa'yo na diagnosed with hypertension. Nanghihingi siya ngayon ng anti-hypertensive drugs. But the problem is, naubos na yung stocks mo ng anti-hypertensive drugs. And hindi pa sila nagbibigay ng panibagong stock dahil nga malayo yung community mo. So, anong gagawin natin? Nanghihingi siya ng anti-hypertensive medication. Dahil wala kang maibigay na gamot, ang gagamitin natin ay yung available resources. Instead na magbigay ka ng anti-hypertensive drugs, bigyan mo ng bawang ang pasyente mo. Okay? Bigyan mo siya ng garlic, 'di ba? Yung mnemonic natin na Santalabi. Okay? Your S stands for Sambong, A for Acapulco, N for Nyog-Nyogan, T for Chaang Gubat, A for Ampalaya, L for Lagundi, U for Ulasimang Bato, B for Bawang, B for Bayabas, and Y for Yerba Buena. Okay, these are the approved herbal plants ng ating Department of Health. Offer alternative solution that may not require medical intervention. Next, we have your prepare people to take over managements of program in the future. So, ibig sabihin, tutulungan natin sila. Tutulungan natin silang gumawa ng programa para sa mga kalusugan. And then, later on, iiwan din natin sila. Bakit? Kasi nga, kaya na nilang i-take over. Kaya na nilang mag-plan. Kaya na din nilang mag-implement. Okay? So that's why tinitrain natin yung mga tao dito. Tinatrain natin sila on plan, on manage or implement their own programs and activities. Next, community resources are mobilized for community services. Gaya nga ng example natin kanina, yung herbal plants, available yan sa community. So kung ano yung meron doon sa community, yun din na yung gagamitin natin for community services. Yan yung apat na importansya ng COPAR. Next, we have your 4 principles of COPAR. So first, we need to ask, do people have the capacity to change? Do people have the capacity to change? Okay? So may kakayahan ba yung tao na magbago? Kasi kung hindi, class, iwan na natin sila. Baka hindi na nila tayo kailangan. Kaya anong gagawin natin? We need to ask first. We need to assess first, may kakayahan ba silang magkaroon ng pagbabago? Kasi 'di ba? Change hindi lang naman dapat sa atin 'yan. Hindi tayo ang magbibigay ng change, hindi tayo mga nurses ang magbibigay ng change sa kanila. Usually nag-i-start 'yan sa kanilang mga sarili. Kung ayaw nila ng pagbabago, huwag mong bigay. Parang ganito lang din 'yan, 'di ba? Example natin sa mga tropa ninyo. 'Di ba yung mga tropa ninyo yung pabalik-balik sa ex, 'di ba? Yung ikaw advice ka ng advice, wag ka nang umano dyan, niloloko ka niya lang. After 3 days, after 5 days, ayan, masaya na naman ang akla. Nakikipag-meet up, nakikipag-tsuga na naman doon sa jowa niya. 'Di ba? So walang pagbabago, sasakit lang yung ulo mo. That's why you need to ask first, do people have the capacity to change? Next, do people possess the ability to change? Okay? Capacity and ability to change. May kakayahan ba sila? 'Di ba? May kakayahan ba sila para magbago? Kasi kung wala, baka hindi kanila kailangan. Next, based on the interest of the poorest sector. Ibig sabihin, si COPAR, naka-base daw ang interest na niya sa mga mahihirap na komunidad. Kung ang community naman ay may matataas na bahay, may mga matataas na gusali, ibig sabihin, they are already progressive community. Hindi na nila tayo kailangan. Bakit? Dahil may mga pera sila, may mga malalapit na hospital, at may mga healthcare services na available doon sa community. Next, lead to development of self-reliant community. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, the main goal of COPAR is self-reliance. Gusto natin silang maging independent. Ayaw natin silang maging dependent or yung umaasa na lang sa mga binibigay ng gobyerno. Okay? Self-reliant community. Gusto natin maging independent, hindi maging dependent and passive type na community. Okay? So, these are the phases of COPAR. First, we have your pre-entry. Second one, your entry. Third, your community building phase. And lastly, we have your sustenance phase. So, dito, sa different phases, may mga different activities tayo na ma-discover later on. Okay, so proceed tayo. We have your pre-entry. Okay, sa pre-entry natin class, usually, activities natin number 1, we have your site selection. Una natin gagawin kapag nasa pre-entry tayo, kailangan natin mamili ng location. Kailangan natin mamili ng place or ng community. Bakit? Yun yung number 1 mo kailangang hanapin. Kasi paano ka magkakandak ng community kung wala ka namang paano ka magkakandak ng COPAR kung wala ka namang community? That's why you need to look first yung community na suitable doon sa principles and objectives ng COPAR natin. So these are the criteria para sa community natin. We have your mnemonic depress. Letter D, depress. Ibig sabihin, yung community ay maraming problema. Okay? Maraming problema. Next one, we have your exploited. Okay, una, we have your depressed. Second one, we have your exploited. Okay. Pag sinabi nating depressed, madaming problema. Okay, pag sinabi naman nating exploited, usually ito yung what do you call this one? Nagkakaroon ng a situation wherein nagkakaroon ng unfair or selfish, unfair treatment. Okay? That's exploited. Bakit? Kasi hindi siya gaano nabibigyan ng mga healthcare services. Next, poor. Dapat yung community ay mahirap. Next, residents are few. Usually, yung resident dito, nasa 100 to 300 families lang siya. Okay? 100 to 300 families. Next, economically poor. Okay? Economically poor. So, mahirap talaga yung community. Next one, we have your safe. Dapat safe siya. Dapat wala siyang serious peace, what do you call this one? Serious peace problem. So, parang kumbaga, dapat kailangan safe siya. Paano pag sinabi nating safe? Pag once na yung community, maraming NPA, pupunta ka pa ba dun? Siyempre, hindi na. Diba? Baka pagpunta mo dun, binaril ka, binangbang ka. Diba? Hindi ka nakatulong sa community. So, you should always priority your safety rather than helping others. Remember, nurse ka, hindi ka bayani. Okay? Dapat safe yung community. O baka naman pagpunta mo dun, dahil yung mga community people ay maingay, magulo, puro away, pagpunta mo dun sa community, naglalakad ka lang, binato ka na. Or kung hindi naman, pag naglalakad ka lang dun sa community, may sinaksak ka na. So, kailangan safe yung community. Okay? Next, shows high morbidity and mortality data. Dapat mataas yung cases ng mga sakit, mataas yung number of deaths doon sa place na yun. Next, evaluate if entered by other organization. Sa pag sinabi nating evaluate if entered by other organization, kapag once na may nauna na doon ng organization na nagkakandak ng COPAR, hindi ka na pwedeng pumasok doon. Bakit? Para hindi magkaroon ng bias. Okay? Para hindi magkaroon ng bias. Anong gagawin mo pag once na may organization na doon na nagkakandak ng COPAR, humanap ka na ng iba. Wag na yung community na yun. For example, MCNP, tapos St. Paul. Si MCNP, for example, si St. Paul, nagkakandak na siya ng COPAR sa Barangay Tanza. Then ngayon, si MCNP, binabalak niya rin magkandak ng COPAR sa Tanza. Pagpasok ni MCNP sa Tanza, nalaman niya ngayon na may nagkakandak na COPAR doon. Kaya ang gagawin ni MCNP, kailangan niyang umalis doon sa community at maghanap siya ng ibang beneficiary or community to conduct COPAR. And then next, do not have barangay health station or nearby hospital. Dapat wala daw siyang malapit or walang barangay health station or malapit na hospital. So usually kapag sinabi natin accessible, usually dapat na kaya natin siyang mapuntahan within 30 minutes to 1 hour. Accessible na yan. Ano pa? 500 meters to 1 kilometer. Accessible na yan. Okay? So, yan yung mga accessible natin. Next, kapag once na nakapili ka na ng barangay or ng community na pupuntahan mo, that's the time na magkakaroon tayo ng courtesy call. Kanino tayo magkakaroon ng courtesy call? Courtesy call kay City Mayor. Okay? Or kay City Health Officer or your CHO. Okay? City Mayor or CHO. Sino si CHO? Kung sino yung doctor doon sa may RHU. Kung sino yung head na doctor doon sa CHO or sa RHU, yun si City Health Officer. Okay? Bakit magkaroon ng courtesy call kay City Mayor? Una natin, rationale, show respect to the leaders. Diba? Kailangan din yan para magkaroon ng respect doon sa leader. Second one, leaders of the community know what are or is the need of their area. Mas alam ng leader kung ano ang pangangailangan at ano ang problema ng isang komunidad. That's why kailangan mong pumunta sa kanya para tanungin, para alamin kung ano ba ang problema at kailangan ng community na pupuntahan mo. Next, to get their initial support on the health activities are going to do by the group. Kasi later on, baka kailanganin mo ang tulong ng mga tao ni Mayor para magkaroon ka ng partnership or collaboration sa activity na gagawin mo in the future. Okay? Courtesy call, pre-entry, site selection. Pag nakapili ka na ng community, that's the time na pupunta ka kay City Mayor para magkaroon ng courtesy call. Pag nagkaroon ka ng courtesy call, ang next mong gagawin ay okay, bakit nawala? Wait lang, nawala yung slides. Wait lang. Okay, pangatlo, wait, silat ko na lang. Pangatlo, we have your personal visit. Okay. Okay, personal visit or yung tinatawag natin na preliminary social investigation. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating personal visit, tayo na mismo ang pupunta doon sa community. Okay, tayo na mismo ang pupunta doon. For example, doon sa may site selection, punta muna tayo sa site selection. Una, site selection. Nakapili ka ngayon ng 3 barangay. Barangay or Sentro 1, Sentro 2, and Sentro 3. Okay? These are barangay na suitable doon sa mga qualifications na hinahanap mo. Pero, doon sa mga criteria natin or qualifications natin, mas best ang Sentro 2. Okay? For example, mas best si Sentro 2. Therefore, si Sentro 2 na ngayon yung pipiliin natin para i-conduct si COPAR. Pag once na nakapili ka na, pupunta ka na doon kay City Mayor para magkaroon ng courtesy call. Sasabihin mo kay City Mayor, based on our reviews, based on the data na meron po kami, Sentro 2 po ang pinaka-suitable po para sa pag-conduct namin ng COPAR. So ngayon, dahil Sentro 2, alam ngayon ni City Mayor kung ano ang problema ang kinakaharap ng Sentro 2. Alam ni Mayor kung ano ang pinakakailangan ng Sentro 2. That's why, tapos ka nang nag-courtesy call, nakapag-usap na kayo with the City Mayor. After nyan, dahil nakapagpaalam ka na kay City Mayor, that's the time na meron ka na or pwede ka nang pumunta sa community. At yung third activity natin, your personal visit. Pupunta ka na doon ngayon sa community. At anong gagawin mo doon? Yan yung tinatawag natin na preliminary social investigation. That's why your pre-entry, also known as preliminary social investigation. Yan din yung tawag sa kanya. At anong nangyayari dito? From the word social investigation, mag-gather tayo ng data. Okay? A secondary data gathering through review of records. Okay, so a secondary data gathering to review of records. Ibig sabihin, yung mga records na available doon sa barangay or sa community, yun yung gagamitin natin. Okay, yun yung gagamitin natin. Bakit? Anong gagawin natin doon? First, rationale niya. A secondary data gathering through review of records, una, to prevent redundancy. Okay, to prevent redundancy or repetitive questions. Okay, para hindi pa ulit-ulit yung tanong. So, we need to go there mismo para i-review yung secondary data through the use of records. Next, to prevent irritation. Okay, irritation or avoid rejection from the community. Okay, to avoid rejection to the community. And next, to identify common issue. Okay, to prevent or to identify common issues. So yan si personal visit. Next, we have your number 4. Agency's orientation. Okay, anong gagawin natin dito sa agency's orientation? Content ng ating orientation. Una, we have your policies, philosophy, of CHN principles goals and objectives. So, yung content ng ating agency's orientation, what they call this one, ipapakita natin sa kanila, okay? Ipapakita natin sa kanila, i-represent natin sa kanila yung mga policies, philosophy of CHN, principles, goals, and objectives. Next one, initial data that has been gathered by College of Nursing on the area. So we will present yung initial data. Okay, yung initial data na nag-gathered. Okay, nag-gathered ng mga College of Nursing or ng mga student doon sa area na yun. Okay? And then next, i-present din natin sa kanila yung mga initial activities natin. Ano kaya yung mga aasahan nilang activities sa atin? Ano kaya yung unang activities na igagawin natin para sa community? And next one, i-present din natin doon yung ating approach, strategies, principles, and process involved. Okay. So, after, agency's orientation, ano yung mga content natin? I-present natin sa kanila yung mga policies, philosophy, of community health nursing, principles, goals, and objective. Then next, the initial data. Kung ano yung mga initial data na nag-gather ng mga student or ng College of Nursing doon sa community. And we will also present the initial activities na gagawin natin for the community. And lastly, we should also present yung COPAR approach natin on how are we going to approach yung mga different strategies, principles, and process involved sa ating COPAR activity for the community. Okay? So again, pre-entry natin. Pre-entry natin, ano yung mga critical activities natin for your pre-entry? Una, we have your site selection. Ano yung mnemonic natin? Depressed community. Pag sinabi nating depressed, kailangan depressed, exploited, poor, residents are few, economically poor, safe, show high morbidity and mortality data, evaluate if entered by other organization, and do not have barangay health station or nearby hospital. After mo makapili ng site or ng community, kailangan natin magkaroon ng courtesy call. Kanino? Kay City Mayor. Next, number 3 natin, after ng courtesy call, magkakaroon tayo ng personal visit. Anong ibig sabihin ng personal visit natin? Your preliminary social investigation. Okay, your PSI. And then number 4, the agency's orientation. Okay. Your agency's orientation. So we're done with your pre-entry. Now proceed tayo sa entry phase natin. Okay, pag sinabi nating entry, this is the actual entry and immersion of community health workers. Okay, this is the actual entry and immersion of community health workers in the community. It is also known as the social preparation phase. Kung kanina, si pre-entry natin, preliminary social investigation, your entry is also known as the social preparation phase. Okay, ito siya. Okay. Social preparation phase. And then, considered as the most crucial phase. Okay? Siya yung pinaka-crucial phase. So, ano yung mga critical activities natin? First one, we have your courtesy call at the barangay level. Kung kanina, nag-courtesy call tayo sa pre-entry, pero kanino? Kay Mayor. Ngayon, dahil nakapagpaalam ka na kay Mayor, papasok na ngayon tayo doon sa barangay. Dito na tayo makikipaghalubilo, makikipag-immerse, makikipagsalo-salo sa mga community people. But before nating gawin yun, syempre kailangan muna nating magpaalam kay barangay or sa punong barangay. Bakit? Para maging, aware lang sila. Unang rationale, to make aware of your presence in the community. Siyempre, para maging aware si barangay. 'Di ba? Kapag hindi yung pwedeng pasok ka lang ng pasok doon, tapos hindi alam ni barangay captain kapag may nangyari sa inyo, syempre hindi niya alam kung paano niya i-resolve yun. Kasi hindi naman kayo nagpaalam, hindi naman kayo dumaan sa kanya. Kaya nga, 'di ba, sabi ko sa inyo, before kayong kumuha ng data, you need to ask permission first to the barangay captain. 'Di ba, pinagawan ko kayo ng letter para sa ganun, aware siya na merong magkakandak ng community development sa place niya. Next, to make them feel that you have recognized their important role in this health partnership. Okay? To make them feel na kailangan pala nila ako. Okay? Para ganun yung masasabi ni barangay. Kailangan pala nila ako. So, kailangan ipa-feel natin yun. Kasi class, hindi tayo pumunta doon na tayo lang ang gagawa. Hindi tayo pumunta doon para tulungan yung community people or tayo lang yung gagawa para sa pagbabago na gusto natin. It is a partnership. It is a collaboration effort. Gagalaw ikaw, gagalaw si community people, gagalaw din yung mga leaders sa community. Okay? To make them feel that you have recognized their importance. Next, to establish rapport or initiate a trusting relationship with them. Siyempre, alangan naman, hindi ka pa nagpapaalam tapos makaka-build ka na ng rapport? No. Siyempre, kailangan pumunta doon, magpaalam ka, courtesy call. Ma'am, sir, barangay captain, I am nurse, ganito, ganyan. We will conduct. So, kailangan mong ipapakita or kailangan mong ipaalam sa kanya kung bakit ka nandoon. Anong pakay mo? Okay, anong purpose mo kung bakit ka nandoon sa community niya? And next, to discuss initial but immediate plans. Okay? So, to discuss initial but immediate plans. So, i-discuss mo kung ano yung mga plans, okay? Plans mo or activities na gagawin mo doon sa barangay nila. Okay, so ano yun? To discuss initial but immediate plans such as, sulat natin. Number 1, such as settling down in the staff house. Okay? Settling down in the staff house. Next, number 2, terms or conditions related to staff house immersion. And then, immersion. And number 4, your ocular survey. Okay. So, kailangan, ang sabi dito, to discuss initial but immediate plans such as settling down in the staff house, terms and conditions related to staff house immersion, and ocular survey. Ang mangyayari kasi dito, class, kailangan natin magkaroon ng magkikipag-immerse tayo, makikipaghalubilo tayo sa mga community people. Bakit? Anong reason? So, anong reason? Una sa lahat, to determine the house of the contact person or leaders of the community. Okay? Next, to be familiar on the landmarks. Okay, kailangan natin gawin to para maging familiar tayo sa mga landmarks dun sa community. Next, to be aware on the physical and political boundaries of the area. And lastly, to determine the entry and exit point of the area. So, ang gagawin natin doon, pupunta tayo doon. Okay, pupunta tayo doon, yung ocular survey na tinatawag natin, yung immersion na sinasabi natin, pupunta tayo doon para ma-determine natin yung contact person and the leader of the community. Next, to be familiarized on the landmarks, to be aware on the physical and political boundaries of the area, to determine the entry and exit points of the area. Okay? So, yan yung sa ating, what we call this one, to discuss initial and immediate plans. Next, after natin courtesy call, community integration. Okay, pag sinabi natin community integration, it is a basic continuing activity by which the community, especially the poor, through immersing self in the community. Okay? So again, pag sinabing community integration, a basic continuing activity by which the community, especially the poor, through immersing self in the community. Ibig sabihin, community integrate. I-integrate natin yung sarili natin sa mga tao. At bakit natin gagawin yun? Una, to get know the people's culture, economy, leaders, history, rhythm, and lifestyle as basis for own adjustments and better acceptance to the community. Okay, pupunta tayo doon, i-integrate natin yung sarili natin sa kanila. Bakit? Okay, para alamin natin, 'di ba? In building trusting relationship, kailangan muna natin alamin ano ba yung mga culture nila. Baka mamaya para hindi sila ma-offend sa atin. Okay? Para hindi sila ma-offend sa atin. Next. To understand and respect the people and recognize the positive aspect of their culture. And that give them the strength to struggle. Kailangan natin makipag-integrate to understand. Okay? To understand and respect the people and recognize the positive aspect of their culture that give them strength to struggle. Next, to understand how the people analyze their own situation. Okay? Para malaman natin, paano ba ina-analyze ng mga tao yung mga situation nila. And then, to have basis for modifying own values and lifestyle in keeping with that of the community. Okay? So, these are the purpose why we conduct integration. Okay? Integration sa isang community. So, we have different guidelines. Okay? May mga different guidelines tayo for integration. Una, appearance, speech, behavior, and lifestyle be in keeping with the community resident without disregard to being a role model in health beliefs and practices. Okay, pag nandoon tayo class, appearance and speech. Pag sinabi nating appearance, dapat not appearing like a tourist ka. Okay, kapag nandun kayong appearance mo, dapat, I'm a tourist. Dapat hindi ganon. Kasi baka ma-offend yung mga tao sa'yo. Next, speech mo. Not talking islang. Huwag kang magsalita, huwag kang mag-islang-islang. Dan, please, yung mag-i-English ka, bawal yun. Kasi baka hindi ka maintindihan ng mga community people. Baka magkaroon sila ng misunderstanding or baka misinterpretation sa mga words na lumalabas sa mouth mo. Okay, next, your behavior. Not being too close with the opposite sex. Okay, not being close to people with opposite sex. Kung lalaki ka, huwag kang masyadong close sa babae. Kasi magkakaroon ng wrong or misinterpretation yan sa community. Baka sabihin nila, nandoon ka para maglandi. Hindi ka talaga nandoon para magkabagbigay ng or tumulong sa mga community people. And lastly, pag sinabi nating lifestyle, simple food yet nutritious. Huwag ka nang maghanap ng lechon kung meron lang sila kamote. Huwag ka nang maghanap ng shrimp, buttered shrimp, kung meron lang sila tuyo. Kung ano na yung nandoon sa hapagkainan nila, yun na yung kakainin mo. So in short, kung paano, okay, kung ano yung way ng pamumuhay ng mga tao dun sa community, yun din yung gagawin natin. Kung paano sila maligo, paano sila maglaba, paano sila kumain, paano sila matulog, saan sila matutulog, doon din tayo matutulog. Okay? So yan yung integration na sinasabi natin. Next, be humble and adapt. Okay? Be humble and adopt a low-key profile or approach. Huwag kang mag-feeling mayaman dun sa community. Kasi baka patahin ka lang nila dun. Baka mainis lang sila sa'yo. Go down on their level. Okay? Kaya kailangan mo mag-assess sa una, di ba? Kasi baka mamaya, unable to read, unable to write pala yung mga tao doon. And then, encourage you to call you simply. Okay? Encourage you to call you simply. Refrain from being messianic in approach. Okay? Do not promise anything you are not very sure of giving. So, wag kang magpa-promise, okay, after ng copper na ito, yayaman kayo. After ng copper na ito, bibigyan namin kayo ng ganito. No, wag kang magpa-promise sa kanila. And then, visit as many people as possible in the community. Okay? Visit as many as people or possible people in the community. Conduct house-to-house visit and answering house call. Bakit? Bakit kailangan mo mag-visit as many as possible? To avoid creating jealousies. Okay? Jealousies and factions. Para hindi magkaroon ng inggitan. And caution. Distinguish between small talks and discussion from chismis. Okay, so you need to distinguish. Pag nandoon ka, class, kailangan i-distinguish mo yung small talks versus chismis. And then, avoid too much drinking. Okay? Avoid too much drinking. Ito na. Avoid too much drinking. Next, H na pala. Definitely no smoking or gambling in the community. Bawal magsugal, bawal manigarilyo. Avoid flirting with male and female community members. Remember, nandun ka para tulungan yung mga community people, hindi para maglande. The next, share the people's housing, food, entertainment, and meetings. Okay, share the people's housing, food, entertainment, and meetings. So, yan yung ating guidelines in integration. After mong mag-integrate, alam mo na yung pamumuhay nila, alam mo na yung landmark, alam mo na yung entry and exit point doon sa community, alam mo na yung mga community leaders nila, that's the time. Leaders spotting, and core group formation. Okay? Leaders spotting and initial core group formation. Okay? So, leader spotting and initial core group formation. Leader spotting and initial core group formation. Ibig sabihin, maghahanap na tayo ng mga possible leaders. Bakit kailangan natin maghanap? Remember class, maluwag or masyadong malaki yung scope ng community. Hindi natin kayang solo na nurses ang mag-provide ng mga health services and activities and programs sa community. Remember, sabi natin kanina, tuturuan natin ang mga community people na mag-resolve and mag-manage ng kanilang sariling problema. That's why we need to look out. Okay, kailangan nating mag-look or maghanap, mag-find ng leader para sila ang magiging katulong natin. Sila yung tuturuan natin para mag-plan at mag-implement ng kanilang mga future activities. Okay? Leader spotting and initial core group formation. Laying the foundation of a strong people's organization by identifying original indigenous members of a community with leadership qualities and bringing them together to exchange knowledge and insight about their community. Pag sinabi naman natin core group, a group of people who are initially identified as leaders with the following characteristic. Ibig sabihin, pag core group yan class, for example, naghanap tayo ng leader. Nakahanap tayo ng 7 leaders. Itong 7 leaders na ito, i-group natin sila. At ang tawag na sa kanila ngayon, they are your core group. Okay? Yung mga 7 na nahanap mong leaders doon sa community, sila na ngayon yung core group mo. Sila na ngayon yung iti-train natin later on. So, ano yung mga qualifications ng leader natin? Letter L stands for low profile. Dapat low profile lang siya. Next, education, at least basic primary education. Kahit naabot nila yung primary education. Approachable and respected by the communities. So, kailangan kahit low or kahit low profile lang siya, kahit primary education lang naabot niya, dapat approachable and respected by community. And then, develops a good communication skills and serves willfully. Dapat gusto niya talaga. Dapat willing siyang mag-serve sa community. And take note class, hindi tayo mamimili ng leader na may political position sa kanyang community. So kapag siya ay konsehal na sa barangay, wag mo na siyang kunin. Kung siya ay barangay chairman na, wag mo na siyang kunin. Kung siya ay SK kagawad na, wag mo na siyang kunin as leader. Kung siya ay SK chairperson na, wag mo na din siyang kunin as community leader. Bakit? Dahil si Kopar, ayaw natin siyang mahaluan ng politika. Ayaw natin gamitin yung good intention ni Kopar para sa politika. Baka sasabihin later nila na eto, project ko eto, yun pala Kopar naman pala siya. That's why hindi tayo pwedeng kumuha ng community or ng leader na may position na sa barangay. Okay? Next, after mo makahanap ng leader, that's the time na mag-a-undergo tayo ng tinatawag na self-awareness leadership training. So, ang ating mga leaders ay mag-a-undergo sila ng self-awareness leadership training. Okay, bakit kailangan nilang mag-undergo? Para maging equipped sila later on na mag-serve sa community people. Para sila ay maging efficient and effective leaders someday sa kanilang community. And next, tentative program planning and implementation. Okay? After mo makapaghanap ng leader, after mo makapagbuo ng core group, yung ating mga leaders ay mag-undergo ng self-awareness and leadership training. And number 5, tentative program planning and implementation. Okay? So, ano mangyayari dito? Your community health development workers will choose a major health issues or priority concern identified during the preliminary social investigation. And they will work on it with the general population. Okay, so kung ano yung priority or major health concern or problem na na-identify nila, i-work nila yun together with the general population. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang ikaw nurse, hindi lang si leader or community leader ang mag-work para ma-resolve yung problema. Ibig sabihin, kasama lahat. Ayan na nga general population. 'Di ba sabi natin kanina, yung have the people have the capacity and ability to change. 'Di ba? Kasi kung hindi sila willing, hindi nila gusto ng pagbabago, wala silang pakialam, hindi natin mare-resolve yung mga problema na kinakaharap nila sa community. Kaya, kailangan kasama ang general population. And then, close coordination of these activities with existing local health workers and rural health unit personnel. So, dapat nagkaroon ng integration, collaborate, nakikipag-coordinate kayo. Okay, dapat nakipag-coordinate. Ibig sabihin, kasama dito yung mga RHU natin or mga health workers natin dun sa municipality. Kaya nga, it is a partnership. Okay? It is a partnership. Okay? Next. Deepening social investigation. Ito. Deepening social investigation or your DSI. Community Study, Participatory Action, Research. Okay, deepening social investigation, or also known as community study or participatory action research. What is the purpose of your deepening social investigation? Number 1, provides a clearer picture about the community. B, basis for planning and organization activities. Okay? So, your deepening social investigation, siya ngayon yung magiging tool natin para magbigay ng clear picture ng community. Siya din ang basis natin sa mga planning and organizing activities natin. Diba? Deepening social investigation. Next, helps in determining an appropriate approach and method of organizing. Okay? So, provides clear picture about the community, basis for planning and organizing activities, help in determining the appropriate approach and method of organizing. Yan yung purpose ng ating deepening social investigation. Siya yung magiging basis natin sa pagplano and pag-organize ng mga activities in the near future. Okay? Your DSI or also known as Community Study or Participatory Action Research. Next, guidelines in conducting deepening social investigation. Number 1, more successful if the health worker has well integrated with the community members. Okay? Dapat naka-integrate din daw siya Dapat si health workers naka-integrate daw sa community members. Letter B, community leaders should be trained to assist the health workers in doing DSI or deepening social investigation so that it will be truly participatory. Kaya nga 'di ba, meron tayong kinandak na self-awareness leadership training. Next, data can be more accurately and honestly gathered through informal methods like casual conversation during house-to-house visit while riding. Okay, so deepening social investigation. Okay, data can be more accurately, honestly gathered through informal methods. Okay? So, kukuha tayo ng mga data kapag once si patient, for example, house-to-house visit. Pwede tayong kumuha ng data, house-to-house visit. Or kung hindi, kapag ikaw ay nakasakay ng jeep or tricycle, in-store kapag once na, ito, jeepney with them, in-store or kapag once na may kasabayan kang bumili sa tindahan. In washing streams sa mga rivers natin or lake, pwede mo doon. Pwede kang kumuha ng mga data doon sa mga tao doon. Or attending community gatherings. Pag may birthday, may kasal, try mong mag-survey kahit ilang tao lang. Or while working with them in production and household activities. Bakit? Anong ginagawa niyan? Rationale for using informal methods of data gathering to obtain reliable data. We're doing this para magkaroon tayo ng reliable data. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba, usually class kapag ito yung pag once kasi nang ginamit natin yung mga questionnaires or yung mga hard copies, 'di ba, hindi siya reliable minsan kasi yung iba chine-check na lang para lang masagutan. That's why para reliable yung data mo, ito pwedeng gamitin mo. House to house visit. So pag nakasakay ka sa jeep or tricycle, pag bumibili sa may river, pag nag-a-attend ka ng mga kasal, birthday, binyag, while working with them, hanap ka ng kahit ilang tao lang para mag-survey ka regarding dito sa deepening social investigation natin. Okay? Note, it is this fourth guideline that makes DSI long and tedious and requires the community health development worker to live or immerse in the community. Next, validation of data should be done regularly with community folks. F, collation, analysis, and writing of the community diagnosis should also be participatory. Okay, participatory, ibig sabihin nagpa-participate pa rin, in collaboration pa rin with the community people, community leaders, not only the health workers. For a truly participatory analysis to happen, it should be done in 4 levels. Una, at the level of community health development workers. Pangalawa, RHU or directly health-related agency personnel, local governments unit, and per sitio level analysis. Okay? So yan yung mga different 4 levels natin. At the level of the community health development. Kayo mga workers lang, health workers lang. Then, RHU or related agency personnel. Then, sa may LGU and per sitio level analysis per barangay na. Okay? Or per zone na. Okay? So, yan. Community meeting or assemblies. Number 7, conduct sa may entry phase natin. Dito din tayo nagkakandak ng community meeting or assemblies. Purpose, to collectively discuss, agree, plan, or act. Diba? Diba may mga community assemblies na i-implement sa community. So, anong ginagawa dito? to collectively discuss, agree, plan, or act. So, i-discuss natin dito yung findings natin, then mag-a-agree tayo kung yun ba ay problema, yun ba ay priority, and then magpa-plan tayo ng activities na gagawin natin. And then, that's the time na i-implement natin. So, usually class, ang process dito, ang process natin dito, usually, magko-collect tayo ng data, collection. After collection natin, that's the time na i-collect. Collation. And then, presentation. And analysis. Ito yung pagkakasunod-sunod. Collection, collation, presentation, and analysis. Question, hindi ba analysis ang mauuna, sir, before presentation? No. It should be analysis or it should be presentation first and analysis. Bakit? We need to present first to the community kung ano ang findings natin. And then, that's the time, kasi bakit? Kailangan nating i-present. Dahil nga kasama natin sila to analyze and para sila din yung mag-decide kung yun ba talaga ay problema. Collection, collation, presentation, and analysis. Pag tinanong kayo, pag magpre-present tayo ng data, ano yung pinaka-best to present data in the community? So pag best, sasabihin natin, usually yan ay through role-playing. The best way to present data in the community through role-playing. Through role-playing. Bakit role-playing, class? Bakit kaya hindi yung mga PubMats? Bakit kaya hindi mga posters? Usually role-playing. Bakit? Diba? Parang ganito yan sa community people. Diba? Usually pag role-playing, ano nangyayari dito pag role-playing? Pag nanonood tayo ng television or ng mga movies, diba? Kahit Korean yan, kahit Chinese yan, kahit wala sang subtitle, naiintindihan natin. Kahit hindi natin maintindihan yung language, still naiintindihan natin yung story na gustong iparating ng movie. Pero kapag kanta yan, kapag Chinese yan, hindi mo pa rin siya maintindihan. Mapapasabay ka lang sa rhythm ng kanta, pero hindi mo talaga naiintindihan yung kanta. That's the or bakit di naman tayo gumagamit ng poster? Hindi tayo pwedeng gumamit ng poster. Bakit? Dahil sa community people or yung mga tao sa community, some of them hindi marunong magbasa. Hindi marunong magbasa, kaya nga hindi rin tayo gagamit ng posters. So best way to present the data sa community through the use of role-playing. Through the use of role-playing. Next, to provide opportunities for the community folks exercise activity. Next, action, reflection, action session. Action, reflection, action session. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Regular cycle of evaluation that follows every after an activity, which largely focuses on the self-reflection about one's own contribution to the success and failure of that activity and what one can do to enhance and improve future performance or similar future activities. So, class. So, pag sinabi natin action, reflection, action, or yung ARAS na tinatawag natin, usually, these are, what they call this one, usually, ito yung mga regular cycle of evaluation that follows every after ng activity. So, for example, natapos ng isang activity, that's the time na magkakaroon ka ng action, reflection, action session. Para siyang open forum. Open forum, natatanungin natin mga sarili natin, ano ba yung magre-reflect ka? ano ba yung naitulong mo dun sa community or sa activity na yun. Okay? So you need to reflect ano ba yung mga naging contribution mo or pag once na hindi successful yung activity, ano ba yung dahilan bakit nagkaroon ng failure doon sa community. And then, improve future performance. Okay? So, bakit natin ginagawa si ARAS or your action reflection action session? Para magkaroon ng improvement. Para magkaroon ng improvement doon sa future activities mo. For example, nagkaroon ka ng self-reflection ngayon. Ano ba yung contributions ko sa activity na ito? May malaking ambag ba ako? Or ano kayang dahilan kung bakit naging failure? Or bakit hindi naging success yung activity na ito? Ano ba yung nagawa ko? So you need to reflect doon sa mga action mo or mga contribution mo o sa performance mo during the activity. Bakit? Para later on, pag gumawa ka ng panibagong activity or program para sa community, ay magkaroon ng improvement. Ito yung ginawa ko dati nung naggumawa ako ng activity. Kaya hindi ko na siya gagawin. Kasi naging failure. Hindi naging successful yung community program. Ito yung isa sa mga strength ko. Ito yung ginawa ko dati. Kaya naging successful yung community program. Kaya gagamitin ko siya ngayon sa activity na ito. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na action, reflection, action session. Para yung open forum every after ng activities. So, anong objective niya? Identify and celebrate own strength related to success of the activity. Kaya yung sabi ko kanina, yan. Critically analyze the cause of mistakes. Okay? Alamin mo yung mistakes, failures in that particular activity so that consequent suggestion can be given to improve performance in the next activity and to prevent recurrence of such mistake or failure. And C, relieve the pains experienced due to errors, mistakes, or due to the behavior of other in the group or community. Yan si action reflection. And then, reconcile hurt feelings within individuals in the group. Bakit? Di ba usually after ng program, pag once na hindi siya successful, nagsisisihan tayo. Ikaw kasi late ka kasing dumating. Ikaw kasi hindi mo ginawa yung ganito. Reconcile tayo. May mga minsan, pag nagpaplano tayo, di ba? Pag nape-pressure ka na, di ba? Pag minsan burnout ka na, nakakapagsabi ka ng mga words na hindi magaganda dun sa mga kasamahan mo, sa mga members mo. Ngayon, reconcile hurt feelings. Parang open forum ngayon, gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, si ARAS. And then, reaffirm commitment to the organization, vision, mission, and goals. Then, aalamin mo ulit, balik ka lang doon sa pinagmulan mo. Ano bang dahilan kung bakit ka nagsimula? Ano bang dahilan kung bakit mo ginagawa ito? Balik ka sa mission, vision, and goals mo. And become closer or develop further cohesions. So, yan yung objectives ng ating ARAS or yung action, reflection, action session. And then, methods of conducting ARAS, pwede siyang small round or table discussion. Ito, or group singing, kakanta, song or story analysis, question and answer technique, then relating response to actual situation or activities conducted. Okay? So, next we have your third phase, your organization and building phase. Okay, so organization and building phase natin, description. This is the phase which entails the formation of more formal structure, inclusion of more formal procedures of planning, implementing, and evaluating community-wide activities. It is in this phase where the organizational leaders, groups, or communities are given formal and informal trainings to further develop their attitudes, knowledge, skills they need in managing their own activities or programs. This is also considered as the most crucial. Okay? Most crucial siya. Bakit? The focus of COPAR is building and strengthening human behavior. The challenges and struggles of the agency health development worker occur during this stage. Bakit? Kasi nga, organization and building phase, usually dito ka na nagkakandak. Okay? Dito na yung mga planning, dito na yung mga implementing. Kaya ito na yung pinaka-crucial sa, what do you call this one? Next sabi. Next sabi. May pause na? Okay. So, COPARs, building and strengthening human behavior. Usually, crucial phase siya. Bakit? Uh, the challenges and struggles of the agency health development worker, doon nga nangyayari lahat, di ba? What I mean, the planning and implementing dito nangyayari sa organization and building phase. Kaya ito yung pinakamahirap. Dito yung pinakamahirap or most crucial phase among the 4 phases ng COPAR natin. Wait lang. Okay, so let's see. Okay, para in short na lang, para dito sa ating community building and working phase. So, community, okay, your community building and working phase. Pag sinabi natin community building and working phase class, usually, meron tayong tatlong kailangang alamin dito. Ano yun? Yung research, organization, and action. Okay, research, organization, and action. Yan yung mga nangyayari sa ating, what we call this one, community and community building and working phase. Research, organization, and action. Pag sinabi nating research class, dito nagkakaroon tayo ng ocular survey. Okay, nagkakaroon tayo ng ocular survey. Next, after ocular survey, magkakaroon din tayo ng data gathering. After ng data gathering, nagkakaroon tayo ng analysis and interpretation. Pero sabi natin kanina, ocular survey at data gathering, di ba mag-ano muna tayo? Collate, present, and analysis. Pagdating mo sa community and working phase or the community and building and working phase, usually ganito ang nangyayari. Ocular survey, mag-ocular survey, ibig sabihin mag-house-to-house visit ka. Pag nag-house-to-house visit ka, kailangan mo mag-collect ng data. After mo mag-collect ng data, you need to analyze the data. And after analyzing the data, you need to interpret the data. Etong tawag sa structure na ito or sa process na ito ay tinatawag natin siyang formal social investigation. Okay, that is your formal social investigation. That is research or under your research. Next, we have your organization. Organization, present. Okay, magkakaroon tayo ng presentation. Saan tayo magpe-presentation? Usually sa mga general assemblies. Okay, sa general assemblies, doon natin usually pinapresent yung data. At anong best type or on presenting the data through role playing. And then after nyan presentation, magkakaroon tayo ng small group formation. Okay, magkakaroon ng small group formation. Pag sinabi nating small group formation, usually class sa entry kasi natin, di ba, meron tayong leadership. Or what I mean, may mga primary leaders tayong nahanap. Yung primary leaders na yun, pag once na pinagsama-sama mo sila, ang tawag sa kanila ay core group formation. Ibig sabihin, sila yung pinaka-leader dun sa community. After mong makahanap ng leader, papasok na tayo sa community building phase. Dito sa community building phase, mas magiging maluwag na yung scope natin. So, anong gagawin natin dito? After mo makahanap ng core group formation, pagdating mo sa community building phase, dito ka naman ay magke-create ka ng small group formation. So, ibig sabihin, pagdating mo ng community building, may dalawa ka ng group. May core group ka na, may small group ka pa. Pag sinabi nating core group, sila yung pinaka-leader mo. At kapag sinabi naman nating small group, sila yung sub-leaders. So, parang ganito yan. Ano bang pinagkaiba ni core group and ni small group natin? Okay. Anong pinagkaiba ni core group and ni small group? So, pag sinabi natin core group class, usually sila yung main. Okay, they are the main driving force behind COPAR processes. So, the purpose, it's to form a small representative or core group committee individuals. Again, they are the main driving force. Pag sinabi namang small groups, they are formed within the broader community to focus a specific task or issue. So, ibig sabihin, your core group formation, they are the one plans and implement activities. Sila ang magpaplano, sila ang mag-o-organize ng activity. Pagdating sa small group formation, sila naman ngayon ang magbibigay ng information doon sa community people. Okay, meron po tayong activity for regarding dito sa health problem na ito. At sila din yung kasama ni core group para mag-implement nung activity na na-build or na-plano ng core group formation. Okay? So, yan si core group. Usually, class, pag core group, ang usually function niya is the project from start to finish. Okay? The core group leads the project from start to finish, taking on roles such as setting goals, decision-making, developing action plans, and monitoring progress. They are also responsible for mobilizing resources, sustaining motivation, and addressing challenges as they arise. Pag sinabi naman natin small group formation, small groups carry out specific tasks or initiatives under the core group guidance. Their responsibilities are more task-oriented, focusing on areas like data gathering, conducting activities, educating community members. They report back to the core group and provide feedback and insight from the community. Yan yung pinagkaiba ni core group formation and ni small group formation natin. Next, we have your after presentation, general assemblies, small group formation. Next, we need to train. Okay, magkakaroon ng training and training of committee members. Okay, magkakaroon ng training of committee members. After nyan, proceed tayo kay action. Pag action naman na, usually dito nagkakaroon ng planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. Okay, planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. Una, magpaplano ka ng activity. After mo magplano, i-implement mo. After mo ma-implement, kailangan mo siyang i-monitor. Nagiging successful ba siya? Nagiging effective ba siya? Kasi kapag hindi siya nagiging effective, ibig sabihin, pangit yung activity mo. And after mong ma-monitor, you need to evaluate, naging successful ba siya? Anong impact niya sa community? Nagkaroon ba siya ng benefits? May tulong ba siya or wala? Kasi kung wala siya, hindi mo na siya gagawin for the next activity. Pero kapag once na meron siyang impact sa community, tuloy-tuloy lang yung activities mo. That is action. Community, building, and working phase. Next natin, we have your sustenance phase. Pag sinabi natin sustenance phase, this is the last phase ng COPAR natin. Your sustenance phase. Pag sustenance phase naman, also known as the continuing social investigation. Okay? Continuing social investigation. Ano nangyayari dito? Usually, nagkakaroon dito ng training of secondary leaders. Training of secondary leaders. Pag sinabi natin training of secondary leaders, sila yung core group natin. Sila yung small group natin. Diba? Naalala nyo dito sa ating community building, nagkaroon tayo ng small group formation. Sila yung sila yung sinasabi natin na secondary leaders. After mo ma-train, establish on efficient financial scheme. Okay, establish an efficient financial scheme. So, bakit kailangan natin mag-establish ng efficient and financial STEAM? Dahil pagdating sa sustenance natin, class, ang ating organization ay meron na siyang pondo. Okay, may mga pondo na yan. Kaya kailangan para magkaroon ng transparency, you need to establish a efficient and financial scheme para hindi magkaroon ng corruption doon sa organization na nabuo mo. Para alam mo kung ilang pera ang pumapasok at ilang pera ang lumalabas. That is your sustenance phase. After natin magkaroon or after natin sa sustenance phase, dyan na yung tinatawag natin na or your sustenance phase also known as phase out pala, class. Ibig sabihin, dito, paalis na tayo sa community. Okay? Paalis na tayo sa community. Okay, bakit? Ano yung mga dahilan kung bakit tayo aalis na sa community? Una sa lahat, na-achieve na natin si self-reliant. After nyan, ang community ay may voice na, may kakayahan ng mag-voice out. And then next, may active participation. Hindi na sila passive recipient of care. And lastly, meron silang increased health action capability. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kaya na nilang i-resolve ang kanilang mga own problems sa kanilang kalusugan. So, eto, pag once na nakita mo na yan sa community, that's the time na pwede na tayong umalis. Pwede na tayong mag-phase out. Okay, pag tinanong kayo, si COPAR ba? May hangganan ba yan? Continuing ba si COPAR? Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi bang COPAR, it is a lifetime? No. Hindi siya lifetime, class. Hindi lifetime si COPAR. May hangganan siya. Usually, class, 3 to 5 years ang ating contract. Pero, pag sinabi natin 3 to 5 years, usually, ang contract natin sa community, usually yan naman daw ay, what they call this one, renewable. Pag sinabi natin renewable, pwede kang mag-extend. Kaya nga nangyayari sa ating partner community sa gig, di ba? Ang tagal-tagal na natin dyan. Nagkakaroon lang ng extension, nagkakaroon lang ng renewable ng contract dahil hindi pa siya ganun ka-progress. Pero I think aalis na tayo dyan sa igig dahil lilipat na tayo sa Peña Blanca as the community partner partner community natin sa Peña Blanca. So again, pag sinabi natin COPAR, may apat tayo na phase. Your pre-entry, your entry, community building, and sustenance phase. Pag pre-entry, may courtesy call tayo. Kanino? Kay mayor or kay barangay captain? Usually kay mayor. Pag entry, kay barangay captain. Okay? Again, ano yung mga problems ng community natin? We have your depressed. Okay? Usually, they are voiceless, they are passive recipient of care, and less health action potential. So that's all for our COPAR.